we have on the line our next and last special guest, Andy Peth, who is the founder of Party of Choice. And Party of Choice is really more of a unifying vision for conservatives. And he's written a number of articles and produced videos and TV commercials. His theme is always choice versus control. And he does a fantastic job of explaining that. And he's going to also be providing us with a basketball analogy to help understand the concept a little bit better. So, Andy, are you there?
I am here. How you doing, Francoise?
I'm doing great. So good to hear from you.
It's good to hear from you. I'm still disappointed in you. Kim, I've never gotten her to run for anything.
We're going to keep working on that, though, Andy. We're going to keep working on it.
I pressure her. I threaten her. I pick it outside her home. I do everything I can.
Well, you do. Yeah. You make a very important point, and that is that people, conservatives, people that care about freedom, liberty, need to get involved, run for school boards and get on commissions and run for city council. We really need to encourage people to do that.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
So, Francoise, when Francoise was looking at the outline here, and she came in, really was pinch hitting for us, Andy, because I know that you talked to Molly about the call, and Molly got caught in the mountains in just horrid conditions. I think she's safe. So Francoise came in and agreed to pinch hit. So it's really good to have her here. And she goes, "Oh, I know Andy." So she had some questions for you.
Look, it's okay. For years before I got married, many women use the weather as reasons not to talk to me. Okay? So it's totally okay. I'm not hurt. And Molly,
I don't believe that.
Okay, well, sure. Yeah, I'd love to talk about it. I was going to kind of talk about why we need a common defense, what it looks like. And I was hoping if we have time at the end to talk about this big division in conservatism between interventionists and non-interventionists. Yes. And maybe why they shouldn't hate each other so much.
That'd be great.
Okay. Let's see here. Well, first of all, shall I just jump in?
Do. Yes.
Okay. At the Party of Choice, as Francoise was saying, we simplify politics by reframing it in a choice versus control paradigm. Now, this is important because it helps us remember what we're defending and why people threaten it. Okay? So let's get basic. All politics comes down to this question. Do you want to control your own life, or do you want to control other people's lives? Well, now, when you direct your own life, that's choice or individual liberty. When you direct other people's lives, that's control. And since you'll need help to do it, we call it collective control. So there's the big dividing line. Individual liberty versus collective control. Choice versus control. By the way, does this mean we should support every choice?
No, I don't think so. But
you're right.
I'm sure you have an answer for that, Andy. What is it?
No. You're right. Great answer. You see, for instance, if I chose to steal a woman's purse, would you support that?
No.
Of course not. If my company chose to pour sewage in a river, would you support that?
No.
Of course not. You see, we conservatives offer a simple standard, and here it is. We support every choice that doesn't take away someone else's choice. So if I steal that woman's purse, my choice takes away her choice of what to do with her money. If I kill some guy, my choice takes away his choice of what to do with his life. If my company pours sewage in the river, our choice takes away the choice of people downstream to have clean drinking water. And this, by the way, is why I happen to be pro-life. I believe that, the unborn are human lives, and one choice is taking away their choice. So ultimately, all good laws are based on this principle. Because when one person's choice takes away another person's choice of life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, that's called control. Mm-hmm. So I'm just kind of laying the basics out. Now, here we're going to start to get into common defense. You see, unfortunately, we live in a world where most countries support collective control, not individual liberty. They do support choices that take away other people's choices. Mm-hmm. And that makes this a very dangerous world for us. Case in point, look at North Korea. What just happened with them? Mm-hmm. Well, you guys know what's going on there?
With Sony?
Yeah, with Sony. And so in essence, because of their threats, they took away the choice for Sony to distribute a movie, which in essence took away my individual choice to see that movie. Yes?
Exactly. And it's not even their country. So they're so against individual choice, against liberty, that they took away choices in another country just with threats. This is why we're always going to need a common defense. If they'll do that with a movie, what do you think they'll actually do if they get to us? Right?
Right.
Okay, it's very important. So let's look at common defense. I want to start with the word defense. Okay? People who threaten us will always use force, terrifying force at that. Now, tell me, what are some ways we can respond? Go ahead and throw out a few examples. How can we respond with this threat of force against us in the world?
Well, first of all, if we're talking about physical force, we need to have an army, or we need to have a military that can stand up and protect us to that force.
Outstanding. See, that's exactly right. I boil it down to 5 steps, and that is the most important, because if you don't have that, the other ones won't carry any weight. All right?
True. Okay.
The first one is reason. Ask them to share our ideal rather than destroy it. Okay? And some countries will do that. Second is security. Secure our borders. Secure our airports. FBI, law enforcement, things like that. So before even equipping us to go out, secure our borders here.
Hey, Andy, let me jump in. I've got a question for you. You said something interesting. Secure our airports. But I actually think that with what's going on, when you go through security at the airports, that it's a false sense of security. That
I'm sorry, I didn't hear that. Go ahead.
That I think that where we as individuals, and speaking of taking away choice, the fact that you have to take your jewelry and your belt and your shoes and all that stuff off, where I know that things have gotten through by reputable citizens, but things that supposedly the TSA is looking for have made it through security. So I think that is a false sense of security. So what kind of security should be provided for our airports?
Better. You say, oh, wow. That gets into kind of what we'll talk about at the end, interventionists, non-interventionists.
Okay,
see,
then let's...
keep in mind...
We can hold that off.
It's a great question.
Okay.
Because, you see, because if we take away our liberties, let's say hypothetically, we took away all our liberties to protect them, would that be a good idea?
No,
obviously. So, but airport security, we have to understand, these people overseas and some who are here, they really want us dead. They're not kidding. And some of these things that they're looking for at the airports are very meaningful, when they need something, any, liquid under 3 ounces and so forth. The next time we get hit, when it's really big, it's not going to be something like 9/11. I got news for everybody. That was tiny. Mm-hmm. That was small potatoes. Next time, think about them releasing a bioweapon in the water supply of 20 major cities simultaneously. Okay?
Yeah. Scary.
Right. We have to be much more secure. Here's a quick. I think airport security is run rather poorly at times. Things getting through, and I think part of it is because of biases. Political correctness and how we're going to implement it. I wouldn't have time to go into that.
Okay.
But let me ask you this: isn't it ridiculous that we secure the airports and not our borders?
Oh, absolutely.
Agreed.
I mean, my goodness. We've got a wide open gaping border in a world of people who want to kill us.
Yeah. It's ludicrous.
It's ludicrous. Okay. So anyway, the first thing, reason. Second thing, secure ourselves. Third thing, and this is important, treaties. Remember, we're the country of individual liberty versus collective control, right? Mm-hmm. So don't put our liberties, the liberties of Americans, at the mercy of nations who don't support liberty. Let me throw out a few quick ones. The UN Small Arms Treaty.
Right.
The Kyoto Treaty.
Right.
The Law of the Sea Treaty.
Right.
It's important, before we even put together a military, that we do not subject ourselves to treaties that take away the very thing we're trying to defend. Make sense?
Yes.
Total sense.
Okay, last two are simple. Number 4, the threat of force. People who want to control you are generally not interested in reason. So you must have high-level intel and weaponry. The reason I talk about all this choice control stuff, especially with young people, is because they don't understand why we need a national defense. They don't understand what's special here in America and why it has to be defended.
Hey, Andy, it's Kim here, and this segment has gone by very quickly. You're going to be on for the next segment, and so we have reason, security, treaties, and threat of force, and when we come back, you'll share the 5th step with us, right?
You got it.
Okay, great. Thanks.